Unit 4, Topic 9. The real reason I put these questions on here is often these are what are represented on standardized tests. The big idea inside of absolute value is there's not just one answer to work for this equation. Typically, when you solve an equation, there's just one answer. Yes, if I put a 5 in here, the absolute value of 5 is 5. That is an answer. But we also learned that if I put a negative 5 in, that also equals positive 5. So that's an answer too. So my two answers are x equals 5 and x equals negative 5. Now, for the mild questions, it's going to stay simple. I'm not trying to confuse you. But as you step it up, it's going to sometimes get a little harder. So, question 2, I'm going to do one more. How do you get rid of positive 12? Minus 12, minus 12. Absolute value of x equals 3. So, yes, my answers equal x equals 3, x equals negative 3. This worksheet has a front side and a back side. The front side's my job, the back side's your job. If it's being multiplied by 4, I have to get rid of that. I want to isolate this absolute value idea. I'm going to divide by 4 because we know the opposite of multiply is to divide. If you prefer writing the division symbol, it doesn't matter. However you want to communicate what you see going on. My brain thinks of a division bar, so that's why I do it like a fraction. 4 divided by 4 is gone. I now have absolute value of x equals 4. So yeah, positive 4 and negative 4. So how does it get harder? It's not always going to be the same number. So here you have the absolute value, but notice you have something on the inside, and that equals the number positive 7. What we're going to do is we're going to write two equations. We're going to say x minus 3 is going to equal 7, and x minus 3 is going to equal negative 7. And as we solve both of these equations, when you think about this, I'm adding 3. What I do to one side, I must do to the other. And it's the same math on both sides. Two different answers, though. 7 plus 3 is 10, but negative 7 plus 3, and again, feel free to use your calculator, is negative 4. Those are the two values that if you were to put in for x, and I take then the absolute value of those numbers, I would get the number 7. I encourage kids right away to come down to a question like number 6 and do it because it's the same type of question. Why is 5 a little different? It has a number on the inside, right? But when I set this up, negative 2x equals 12, right? And negative 2x equals negative 12, here I'm just dividing. And because I'm dividing both sides, it's going to yield the same number. That cancels away. I get a negative 6. That cancels away. And I get a positive 6. So sometimes you might get the same number when there's a number on the inside. But as soon as you start seeing addition and subtraction, things change. I'm going to set this one up, but I'm not going to do it. So x plus 5 equals 12, and x plus 5 equals negative 12. Show me you can get that answer. I want to know what it is. X equals blank, x equals blank. It should not be the same number. I don't mandate that everybody does spicy questions. So if you're struggling and this feels like really complex to you, let me know. I'm not going to mandate you do this. So if you're done with the video and you want to flip to the back and practice, please practice. If you want to go a little further, I'm just showing you what a two-step question can look like. Whenever you have an absolute value, you have to get the absolute value alone. So the first step is let's move this 5 to the other side. If I move that 5 over, it is gone. And now I have 5 minus 2, or negative 2 plus 5, is going to be the number 3. So just like up above, you're back to what you saw. X plus 8 equals 3, and x plus 8 equals negative 3. I think from there, people are going to be okay. Showing question 7, I have the absolute value equals 16. It's already isolated. So let's write our two equations. Negative 4 plus 4x equals 16. Negative 4 plus 4x equals negative 16. That's going to be a two-step equation. And when you do a two-step equation, you always get rid of whatever is being added or subtracted, and then whatever is being multiplied or divided. So in this case, the 4 has to be brought to the other side. What's interesting is you'll do that same thing on both sides, but it's going to yield different answers. 16 plus 4 is 20, but negative 16 plus 4, that's only going to be negative 12. Last step, divide by 4. I got x equals 5. Divide by 4, and I got x equals negative 3. Good luck on the backside. Please let me know whatever questions you have.